Hi guys, this is John. Welcome to my ICT Hub, where we make ICT concepts easier. Today we are considering the presentation application, and our focus is going to be the IGCSE ICT 0417 paper. That's February March 2024 paper 2-1. Okay, if you're ready, I'm ready. Let's dive in. Okay, here we are on the February March paper 2-1 for 2024. This is the task 4, which is looking at presentation. I had made other videos where we had taken task 1, the evidence document. Task 2 was document production. Task 3 was data manipulation. That's where we talked about database. And here we are on task 4. If you've not watched it, please you can watch the other videos on my channel where I treated these other topics. Right, today we are going to be looking at task 4, which is presentation. And the application we're going to be using here is Microsoft PowerPoint. I'm using Microsoft PowerPoint 2021 just for reference sake. But nevertheless, whichever version you're using, you can still follow through. Okay, let's start with the question for today. It says you're going to create a short presentation about online gaming safety. Right, now let's go with that. It says all slides must have a consistent layout and formatting. Question 18. Create a presentation of 8 slides using the file C0 safety. Now take note the file is in RTF. RTF means the rich text format. Now this is a PowerPoint presentation. PowerPoint files usually should be in PPT, that's PowerPoint, but this is in RTF. So how do we open an RTF file in a PowerPoint presentation? Many of my students at times do make this mistake. Let's go to source files. Let me show you what I mean. Many of my students make the mistake of opening up the file first here. Like I said, just the way I told you in the data manipulation, it's an error to open the file and keep it open, because if a particular application is already accessing the file, another application will not be able to access the file. So if you open up the file here, we have the safety here. Okay, let's take a look at this is the file. Yes, but it's a PowerPoint application. You should be working on PowerPoint, not on MS Word. So don't make this mistake of opening up the file here and leaving it open. Ensure you close it, because you will not be working on the MS Word. Rather, we're going to be working on PowerPoint. So how do we open that file in PowerPoint? Let's open it together. Go to File, go to your Open, then you click on Browse. Now here is where the source file should be displayed, but it's not displayed because if you look at this type here, it's expecting a PowerPoint file. And remember, it's an RTF file, not a PowerPoint file. So what do we do to display it? Click on the arrow and select all files. All your file will be fully displayed there. Then we can open the safety file. Okay, there PowerPoint. Now can you see? It has opened everything. Ensure you enable contents so you will be able to work on it. Now there we have our 8 slides as stated in the question. So you can try that out. That's just the steps to open up the RTF file in your PowerPoint application. Let's go on with the question. Sorry. Okay, now what do we have to do? So use a master slide to display only the following features. So let's quickly go back before we look at the features. Where do we have our master slide? Our master slide is a view that gives us access to every content on our slides. Nothing is fixed on a slide in the master slide. You can be able to move and make features, make changes from your master slide view. So when you come to your view, we have a slide master. Okay, now one mistake many students do make, and I don't want you to make that mistake, is immediately you get your slide master, they begin to edit. Please always remember you should move up to the first slide, the actual slide master, which affects every other slide. Like you can see the line coming out from this first slide, which means whatever you do here will take effect on every other slide. So let's ensure you remember to come to the first slide before you start the editing. Now let's look at what are the things we have to do. It says the first one, automated slide numbers on the top left. Take a look at the slide master view here. You have the topic, you have the contents, you have the date, the footer, and this hashtag shows the slide number. Now, there are 2 ways you can insert your slide number. Either you want to make use of this automated one here, or you want to create your own. Now let's start with the first one. If you want to make use of this automated slide master, you have to ensure that you go to your insert, go to your number, you insert, okay, you want to go for your slide number, sorry, the header and footer. Pardon me, please, that was my home. Insert, you want to go to the header and footer. When you click on this dialog box, you have to turn on the slide number. You will also be making use of a footer. I'm going to show you where. So turn on this too. Now we are not using date and time, so we don't need to turn on this. Turn on the slide and ensure to apply it to all. Apply to all. Now once you've done that, you can relocate the slide number, to a particular position. I usually advise my students, for visibility's sake, let's try and make it not to overlap on any content. Then you can change the font, the font size. You can make it bigger for the font. Okay, then you can make it font color. Yes, that makes it more visible for whoever audience or whoever is going to be grading your paper. That's one way to do it. Another way to do it is also to use a text box. You might want to insert a text box. Let's go to shapes, insert a text box. I'm going to delete one of it just for you to see. Then within the text box, you want to now go to insert. Now you want to insert your slide numbers. Not the header and footer. Now you want to insert your slide number. Slide number is okay. Now you can see just the same way that we have for that. You might also want to still make it, increase the font and give it the black. Now both of it will work as slide numbers. So whichever way that you're inserting a shape, for this you don't have to take note. For the first one, that is the one that is automated on the page, on the slide number, you would have to turn on your slide number from the header and footer. But for this, which you are inserting with the text box, you don't have to do that. You don't have to turn on any slide number. Once you insert the text box there and you insert the slide number into that text box, it automatically affects on all your slides. So whichever one you want to go with, it would work. But please remember the rules or the conditions for the two. Whichever one is easier. I think the second one is easier. Even if you forget about turning on footer or turning on the slide number, this will definitely appear. So let's just take out one of it. All right, we're okay with that. That's the first one. The second one now says the company logo, this logo.jpg, positioned on the top right. Okay, where do we bring in that image? To make it easy, just go to where your source files is, locate the logo file. There we have the logo. Okay, you could just copy it. I use the shortcut, or just there you go to copy. Can you see the tool there? Copy it, or you can right click and copy any of it. Then you come down to this page and you paste the image there. Now it says it should be located at the top right. Can you see that? So let's quickly go and move it to the top right. You don't have to enlarge it, just leave the size where it is given. Okay, then we go back to the question. Your name, center number, and candidate number. Now, this was not specified where it should be, whether at the top, whether at the bottom, or the right. But now, remember, I turned on the footer when I started. So you could, the same way, if you type in anything here, haven't applied to all, it will be visible. But just like the way we did for the page number, the second way also to turn on the foot to have a footer is to just draw your text box. You just pick a text box. Now type. Just draw a footer there, and you could type your name. Let me use this John 1 and G 234. Then we have 1 2 3 4. Okay. Now I'm going to type another statement here, so you could see that both of it is going to work. Remember, I had turned on the footer here, so I'm going to type John 11111 just for us to see the difference in those two. Remember, for this to work, which is the automated one, you have to go to your insert, go to your header and footer, and turn on the footer. Now you can see it's already visible there and apply to all. But for this text box, you don't have to do that. Once you do it on the first master slide, it will appear on all the slides. Let's take a look at that before we go. Let's see. Now make sure, emphasis, master slide items appear in the same position on every slide and no item overlap. Okay, let's take a look and see if we are having any overlap or if we are good to go. So we have to go back to our slide master and then we close that. Okay, here we are. We have the page number. Is overlapping the image. Now, can you see the two? Like I said, okay, for this now, you see it's easily pick the black. Here we have this is smaller. You might want to increase the font. But let's go through and see, is it overlapping? No. Okay, it's not overlapping. Now, I left this two just for you to see the difference or to see the two types. So let's quickly go back and take away one of. So we are going to a slide master. Let's take away, I'm going to take away this. Yeah, since it was not specified, sorry, like I said, I made the same mistake. Make sure you are on the slide master while you're working. very first slide. I want to take away this, and then I want to move this possibly to the right. Okay, because it was not specified whether in the middle, to the left, or to the right. And for my slide number 2, I want to align it to the left because I noticed it was a little bit over, so it wants to overlap. Okay, and that makes it better. So once we are done with that, we could close our slide master view and let's continue. Okay, that's better. Now it says format slide 1 so that a title slide layout is applied with no bullets. Now, when we talk about layouts, layout has to do with the view of the content, the arrangement of the content of a slide. Now we're on slide 1. Here we have the layout here, and we want, can you see the name? Title slide. So we click on that. Okay, it says the title and subtitle text are center aligned and in the middle of the slide. So easily with that layout, this has placed that. Okay, remember to save. Okay, I want to save my work just so it doesn't get missing. Let's save that. Okay, now we move on. Now it says delete the slides with the title, gaming benefits and negative effects of gaming. All right, let's go through the slides to delete. Here we have gaming threats, gaming benefits. So this is the slide we want to get rid of. Just delete on your keyboard and it's gone. They say negative effects of gaming. Okay, we're also deleting this. Right click or use delete on your keyboard and it's gone. So we are left with 6 slides now. Go through our slides. We don't have any overlap. Oh my, this is still visible. So we have to get rid of it again. Once again, why is that still visible? So let's just make sure you always check back on what you've done. Go to your master slide. It's still appearing on all other slides. Okay, so you want to turn it off. Forgot to do that. You go to your header and footer, and you want to turn off this since you've gotten rid of that. But we are still leaving the slide number. Apply it to all. So whichever one, I think it's easier if you just use your text box, and that way you wouldn't have to come to turn on or turn off. Okay, there it is. We've gotten rid of that. Turn it off. Now let's continue quickly. Now it says use the data in the file ratings.csv, that's a comma separated value file, to create a vertical bar. Take note, to create a vertical bar chart to show the number of ratings given to each age category in 2023 only. Take note. So we are going there. And before we continue, let's quickly take a look at that chart. Let's go to where source files is and let's open that file, ratings. Okay, there we are. Let me zoom in just so we could see it easily. Let's make it a bit bigger. Okay, now we can all see that. Yes, fully visible. Let's double click to ensure. All right, everything is fully visible. Now we want the age category and we want only 2023. Okay, let's see how. Let's continue on that. Display with labels. Okay, the age categories on the category axis and the number of games on the vertical axis. And the vertical axis is what we call the value axis, while the horizontal axis is the category axis. You might want to take note. I just use the same alphabet to take note of that. V, value, vertical. Vertical axis is the value axis. Okay, let's quickly go to that. You want the age category, that's the ages. Please, you don't want to pick the title. If not, it's going. Let me quickly do that so you can see. And it says only 2023. So you want to hold down your control key on your keyboard while you highlight this. I want only 2023. Let's insert our charts. Go to the charts. We have our charts there. Yes. And we want vertical bars. Now take note of this. Can you see? It has picked the title with 2023. And we don't want that to happen. So we want to take away that and make sure you don't highlight the title, only the contents. Yes, that way. Then we want to insert a bar chart. Remember, we make ST concepts easier. All right, easily here we have a title, and that's the chart. Okay. All right. So let's take it. Let's continue. Now it says with labels, the age category on this. Okay, so we want to turn on labels on each of those. So You go to the plus sign. You want to turn on the labels. If you cannot see that, let me zoom in so we can all see that. You go into the data labels, you want to turn it on. Okay, let's turn off. Yes, so we can see all the labels. And you see, now let's move on. Now, even though it didn't specify, it just displays with labels, each category, and this. Now do not display legend. So in case the legend has been displayed, you want to turn that off. Now it's supposed about the label. What does it say about the label? Label the chart as follows. Now the chart title ratings. Okay, so we want to have this as our chart title. You go to the box, you want to select all there. Yes, that's a title. Then we have on the category axis. Remember I said the category axis is the horizontal axis. The value add axis is the vertical axis. But we are only giving information about the category axis. You have each category. Okay, so we want to copy that. Now we don't have any title for the axis, so we want to turn on those axes. You go with plus. Now let me zoom in again so we can all see what I'm clicking on. Here we have axis titles, and you want to click. If you want to have more functions, you could just go down. Let's turn on the zoom. Okay, so we have the vertical, the value axis, and the category axis, but this is what we were told to adjust. So we want to paste that. No information given about the value axis, so you want to delete that. Okay, now let's move on. It says displays only the data values along the top of the bar. Okay, so we turn on that label. You can see the values already displayed. If you were not told to display this, we could turn that off. But since there's already an instruction about this, so we leave that label that way. Now format the value axis. Now we are formatting the value axis. Remember, the value axis is the vertical axis. The value axis to display what? A minimum value of 0. We have a maximum value of 560 and increments of 70. So how do we do that? You want to click on the value axis itself, then you want to right click on that axis, and sorry, you have clicked out. Make sure you click on the axis you want to edit, then you want to get the properties. Okay. No, I didn't click on that properly. Sorry. Oh, why is my mouse malfunctioning? Okay, yes, we got that value axis. Good, now this is exactly what I want. Now once you click on that correctly, let me take you closer so you can see what. Now we have the minimum value, remember it's set to 0, and it says the maximum value to 560. 560. Now the increment has to do with the major. Increment should be 70, so we want to change this to 70. Okay. Minor, we are not particular about that. So we have the minimum should be 0, maximum shows 560, and then we have the increment 70, which is the major. So once we are done with that, let's check that. Maximum 560, minimum 0, increments, and 70. Okay, I think we're done with that. Let's move on. Okay, that's all about that particular bar, that chart. So now it says place the chart to the left of the button, the left of the bullet on the slide with the title Game Ratings. Okay, Game Ratings. And before we could just click on the outline. Yes, then you want to copy it. You use the shortcut Ctrl+C. I want to copy that, and let's go back to our presentation. I want to look for the one with the game ratings. Are we correct? Is there game ratings? Okay, yes, game ratings. Now it's going to be to the left, not to the right. Even though space here is to the right, so that means we want to move the bullets this way. Let's try and move the bullets because the instructions say they should be to the left. Then click there and you can paste your chart. Yes. I use the shortcut Ctrl+V just in case you don't know how I pasted that. Or you could have just gone up here and clicked on paste and it will still appear there. Make sure you don't change any other content. You're not told to move the title and the slide. I might still want to make this a little bit smaller so that my charts could be more visible. Okay, that's good enough. Here we have the chart. Just to make it more visible. Yes, I think that's good. Now make sure that no words in the chart are split. Do we have any words splitted? No words are splitted. They're all move to the next line. Now note all data and labels are fully visible. You can see the data. We have a label each category, the title, the labels are fully visible. Now the chart and its contents do not overlap any slide items. Do we overlap? No, we don't have any overlap. So it's properly arranged. Now let's move on. And take note, like I said, if you don't get all these informations correct, just as simple as 1 mark, you could lose it. Because in IGCSE, we don't have half mark. It's either you get everything to get a full mark or you lose the mark. So you don't want to lose the mark with one omission. Now we're going to the next question. It is on the slide with the title ratings, which is where we were. Format the text age classification so that when clicked, it opens the document with the file name. Okay, categories.csv. All right, so we want to check on where do we have? It says age age classification. So here we have age classifications. I'm going to highlight the text. Good. Now you want to create a link because it's going to be opening another file, so you want to link that. If you go to your insert menu, the number of things you can do with your insert menu, maybe in another video, or we're going into details on what we could do with everything on our insert menu. Right now we want to create a link, so you click on link. Now what do you link? You want to link another file. Can I zoom in for those of you who can? Okay, all right. Now if you look at it, the first one says you want to link an existing file or web page. You want to place in this document, an email. All right, but we want to link another file. Is in the same folder or in what location? So yes, we are linking a file, so we need to link locations. Let's go to where the file is located. Go to my desktop. Okay, so I have it on the desktop. There. All right, now we want to link this file categories, isn't it? Okay, let's click on that, and you can see the color has changed. It has linked the file. Let me turn off the zoom. All right, now we have taken a screenshot to show that the text links, all right, to the what? To the correct file. So, and place that in your evidence document. So we want to go back there, so we could have, okay. Now it's important that you make sure that that is still visible there, because we need to be sure that it's linking to the correct file. So go to your desktop, pick my file, okay, categories, okay, which is displayed there. You want to, and let's place this beside it here. So then I'll take off sniping tool to take that screenshot. Okay, then take a screenshot that displays for the text, and let's go to our evidence document. All right, that's the last evidence for the data manipulation. All right, now we can see the text, and okay, now once you've done that, the next question says, add the following texts as presenter or speaker notes to the slide with the game ratings, with the title game ratings. Okay, so let me pick my text. Rating guidance helps prevent make informed choices. Rating guidance makes informed choices. Okay, so you want to copy that, and let's go over. Let's quickly go over to, all right, we want to use, let's click OK for the speaker notes. Now, this is where you have to paste that, but even if you don't have this viewed, you want to just quickly go. In case you open your PowerPoint and you can't see the notes here, very simple, just go to your view and you can click on notes. Now, if this note is not visible here, you can actually see the notes here, and then you can paste it in there. Okay, now once you paste the notes in there, that's about all you need to do. Good, so I haven't done that. Now you want to continue to, let's go back to the question. So print only this slide as presenter or speaker note. So there's a particular pattern of printing. It says as this particular, so you want to print it. So we go to our printing, haven't done that. With your file, then you want to click on print. Now if you take a look, I'm still selecting on that from PDF, or you might select your own printer before you print. Then you want to change which slide is the current slide we are working on, because it's already displayed there. Then you want to change how it looks. Now you can see that there are different options here. For this we have full slide, then we have the notes, so which is the option you want to pick, the one with presenter notes. Now this note is visible and the slide, so with this you can click on your printer and then you can print it out, or with your PDF you can still save it out in PDF format for that. So while that is done, okay, so let's go back. Now Answer that question. The next question says, save the presentation. Now print slides 1, 2, 3, 4 only, just 1, 2, 3, 4 as handouts in portrait orientation with 2 slides on each page and with each slide filling half the page. So we go back. We want to go back to print again. Take note, we are printing only slides 1, 2, 3, and 4. So you might want to specify 1 to 4, or remember, because we still have printing notes, so we are going printing 2 on a slide. So you either specifying 1 to 4, or you could just 1, 2, 3, 4, any of the two, because it's in, they're all in the same, that's why same range, that's why 1 to 4. But if you are specifying possibly 1, 2, 5, 6, that way it's preferable you use your comma, separate the different slides, and it will be displayed that way. Now the orientation says portrait, so we're in order, not landscape. We have in portrait orientation, 2 per slide, and once you're done with that, you can print, or you print to PDF, whichever way that is convenient for you. If you want to share the file, you could print it out in PDF, or you have your printer name, select your printer, and then you can print it out. Okay, that's for that. Let's go back. Okay, for that exercise on presentation, and now the fifth task now says printing the evidence document. Now make sure that your name, center number, and candidate number appears on your evidence document, which we have done. Save it and then print your evidence document. Now if you go to your evidence document, let's take a run through again. That is from the beginning. Here we have our document production. That's your name at the top. We have okay. Here we have our data manipulation, the relationship, the structure of the table, and we ended on the equation which you used to calculate the average. And lastly, from your presentation, we have the link which you created. And once you are done with that, once again, you can just print out from your printer, go to your print, just the way you've been printing the other things. You go to your printer and you could easily print out on your printer, select your printer and print. There is no particular formatting that is specified for this. And once you are done with that, I think you are done on presentation, application, and for the whole exercise. So you might watch my other videos if you want to connect to what we did on data production and on the data manipulation. You might watch the other videos. When you are done with that, I think you are good to go. So if you like what you have seen on this particular video, I think it's a good time for you to hit the like button, subscribe to my channel so you can also catch up with other videos as I produce them, where we make ICT concepts easier. So logging out for now. This is John, your ICT tutor. See you in my next video.